Hello, everyone. So I think everybody knows this straight away what I'm going to say here because I think everybody can see it. If you can't see it, then you're obviously in the Green Party and that you're actually brainwashed. To be totally honest, I hate to say it, but let's be fair. Eamon Ryan has lost the plot. I think he actually has lost completely the plot. Whatever's wrong with him, I don't know what's wrong. He might be just waking up and, yeah, as I say, he be in a daze and he says whatever comes to his mind first. Now he's talking about by 2030 he wants to cut the herd. He wants to basically he wants to destroy farming in this country first of all. He wants to get rid of all the farmers. He doesn't want anybody having a farm. He doesn't want anybody having a tractor or anything. Which for centuries, for thousands and thousands of years, our ancestors walked to the land, to make ends meet. But now apparently now it has to come to an end because climate change and stuff like that. Um, so Eamon Ryan's going to cut the head by 10%, which is a lot. And obviously, the one people you don't want to piss off is the farmers. The farmers are not the people you don't want to piss the farmers off. Let's put it that way. Um, Second thing, the way he wants to do, he wants to get rid of about 30% of the cars by 2030. So he wants all electric cars, really. No, that's all well and good, Eamon Ryan. But as I said to one Green Party, one representative one time, and sure, look, we find a way. That was his answer. We find a way. No solutions, just we find a way. We find a way. And then the next thing he said, the Green Party has a vision, but they don't have any ideas, but they don't have any solutions. They have a vision, but they have no ideas. Um, but yeah, I just left it at that when I was talking to him because it's pointless talking to some of these people. Um, but yeah, so by 2020, what basically 30% of the cars, the diesel and petrol fuel cars off the road, what gone off the road, gone out of the way. And then probably by 2050 they'll probably want all electric cars. And that's all well and good. But it's about 50 to 60,000, maybe possibly more, for electric cars, depending on what you get. And the government, they do have subsidies of 5,000 and things like that. But how does the working man, take this up, and me and you, the many people watching here, get up early in the morning to go to work, to pay for Eamon Ryan to sit in Dáil on his over 100,000 euro a year, plus of course expenses, oh Jesus, and all the ministerial buffs and the big pension too when he retires. We are the ones who are going out and working for Eamon Ryan. Wouldn't work on batteries, let's be fair. But again, batteries, he wouldn't work on solar panels too because, batteries, he probably would get rid of batteries too because, he doesn't like batteries. He doesn't like anything. As long as it has green in it, he doesn't like anything else but green. You think he would like green fields too with farmers, but no, he doesn't want that. He doesn't like green fields at all too. He wants to just destroy everything. But yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. Like, I don't know where the people are going to get the money first of all, and then many other things. Eamon Ryan is just he's talking absolute nonsense. And last thing he said too the other day, he was saying about Sinn Féin too, not taking the environmental seriously. Like, I think Sinn Féin, not going to lie to you, in the last few years, I think they're nearly getting like Eamon Ryan. Like, they're pure just, we don't want people farming, we want, zero emissions and all that. And that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, as I keep saying all the time, it doesn't seem like Eamon Ryan wants to do this. You think he would go to the Indian embassy in Dublin, or go to India, or go to China, and go up to Xi Jinping maybe in China and say to Xi Jinping, you have to cut your cattle herd and you have to stop pollute, because again, as you know, the amount of plastic waste that goes into the atmosphere burned in China to make basically shitty products, plastic products that you get in the shop for €2 or whatever, by slave labor, by forced labor and stuff like that in China. Eamon Ryan, he has nothing against that apparently. He never spoke out about that. Because little old Ireland, with about 5 million people, compared to 1 billion people in China, and then maybe another billion in India, which is the world's most polluted countries, two most polluted countries. Then you probably include the United States maybe, and then some of the other countries too around Asia. The United States offers a big industrial power to the United Kingdom. But no, not a word. He's not worried about him going to the ambassador to complain about that. Not a peep. Not a peep. You think he would go to China and say to Xi Jinping, the environment and all that. Because he'd be totally honest, we'd even go to Russia too. Because they would laugh at him. They'd be totally honest, they would laugh at him. They would think he's not well, I'd be totally honest. They wouldn't take him serious. Like, you think they would listen to anybody like that over in China or like that. They'd laugh at them. They just laugh at them. They would think they're not even listen. They would be ignored. That's all that happened. They just not listen to them. But yeah, they're the people we need. Obviously, if China and India says, you know what, we're going to do what everybody else is doing. We're going to cut our hair, our cattle, because India too is a farming based society. Rural areas of India is more farm based, and even some parts of China too, but not the cities obviously, but in rural areas Because they are big countries after all. They are big, huge countries. Bigger than Ireland. And that's the fact too, that, what can Ireland do? Eamon Ryan's making out that Ireland can solve all the world's problems in one day, basically. Ireland can just solve it in one day. But, Ireland, basically, give or take, this is being generous, but 3% of the world's emissions by cars and stuff like that is coming from Ireland, about people burning a bit of turf and things like that. About 3%, I mean, possibly even less, 2%. Ireland's a small country, remember, it's not a big country, it's not a big country with 7 billion people or something like that. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. If every country was doing the same, but, obviously, we have to basically be the most psycho country in the world and do this kind of stuff. And then the next thing too, I will talk about in another video, what to just briefly talk about, is that the important stuff, as we speak now, this is the hypocrisy. The Eamon Ryan, if he got his way only for, I think, the Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael rural TDs in rural Ireland, were like, we're going to lose our seats if we don't stop Eamon Ryan from doing what he wants to do. Because let's be fair, he wanted to completely ban tough anybody from cutting tough at all, and he wanted to put grannies in prison for 9 to 10 years if you cut tough. But thankfully that didn't come to fruition yet. Waiting to see Eamon Ryan to be at it soon. In the next election, if the Green Party wins, that's the end of the tough, to be totally honest. Because at the moment they stop you from selling it. But they wanted to completely stop people from selling it. They want to put you in the prison for not for selling it, for even cutting it or even thinking about cutting it. Talk crime, the top police. But yeah, that's Eamon Ryan for him. But yeah, so they're importing it to Japan and Australia and to some other countries too. But you know what? It's restricted in Ireland, but we're selling it off to other countries. What? You're talking about climate. You're talking about the environment. And then all of a sudden you're like, let's sell off more tough to enrich ourselves. In Dáil Éireann. You think about that for a second. Think about that, the environment. One thing he says, environment. We have to take seriously the environment and stuff like that. Next thing we say, oh yeah, we're sending €100 million a year off in turf to other countries. Sure, why not? Does it make any sense? Does that make any sense? In Eamon Ryan's head it might, but it's not logical, let's be fair. Like, have you ever heard of such crack? I'm totally honest with you. I said to people to think about if they're going to vote the Green Party in the next election. To think about it, it's another year away. It's 2023, but next year is the election, basically. So yeah, but yeah, to think about it now, because what the Green Party are doing is going a bit, as I said before, they're not focused on the ground level environment stuff. Like, as you see, you go into rural Ireland now, down country roads, the stuff, couches dumped in the shocks and stuff like that, legal dumping's out of control. The Green Party don't want to deal with that. As I said before, environmentalists, they talk a lot, let's be fair, they talk a lot, but they have no action to basically do something when it comes to doing a bit of work. You wouldn't see them in a shock lifting couches out or lifting needles out of a shock grinder. They won a mile. If you told them to do that work, do some work basically, because half of these people are probably scratching themselves and doing nothing all day, and sitting in offices in the Department of Environment or whatever, they're scratching themselves doing nothing. And then if you told them to go out and lift the bag of rubbish out of the shock because it was dumped there by somebody, and to bring in legislation to try and stop people from dumping and things like that, they cry. They really would cry because they have to do something then. And that's unfortunate, they have to do something. But yeah, let me know what you think and subscribe more, and bye.